Oh, is that funny? Wouldn't he know? I feel like he would know. I don't know. My conjecture would be if they're closer to each other, that they would shine less or look like they're shining less brightly because there'd be something else that's your eyes are bright, like looking at. I don't know. I'm just curious. I don't know. That's why I would ask Mr. Jordan. Okay. Now, let's start out with multiplying. The first thing we're going to do, actually, right, is we're going to make sure that we know the dimensions of each of these. Now, to keep it simple, on all the ones that you do, you'll notice we have 2 here. They're always going to be the same in terms of which matrix comes first and which one comes second, okay? So let's first just look at what are the dimensions of this first matrix. 2 by 2, right? 2 rows by 2 columns, okay? What about the dimensions of the second matrix? Should actually be 2 rows by 1 column, right? I know it's kind of weird to say there's 2 rows, but there are 2 rows and then only 1 column. So what you learn with multiplying is if you're trying to multiply any matrices, all right, that you're trying to multiply, if you write their dimensions like this, and I want you to underline the second number from the first matrix, so this is the columns of this first matrix, and you underline the first number of the second matrix dimensions. This is the rows of the second one. What do you notice about those 2 numbers that I underlined? They're the same. If those numbers are the same, you can always multiply. Okay? So today I'm going to keep it straightforward. It's always going to be this, right? Because you have to have a place to put it when we multiply. All right? So if those numbers are not the same, are you able to do it? No. So you would write, what did we write yesterday? Not possible. So you would write not possible. All of them will be possible today. Okay. Now, I want you to put equals. All right. Do you see the numbers that I did not underline? Did you see this 2 and this 1? Those are the dimensions of what your answer will be. So when I draw my answer matrix, it's going to be 2 rows by 1 column. So my answer will only have 2 numbers in it. Okay? I know this. You're gonna love this. This is so fun. I love doing this. Okay. All right. Ready? Okay. I'm gonna show you all of my work. So this is my work matrix. Okay. So put this a little bit below it. So I'm gonna show you the math I'm gonna do. Okay. Take your pen or pencil. I want you to draw an arrow, a horizontal arrow, across the rows of this first matrix. So draw an arrow on top of the first matrix going left to right. So I want your brain to be thinking, when you draw that, you're thinking rows, right? Rows. Then take your pen or pencil and draw a line going up and down in front of the second one. So that matrix, I want you to be thinking, if I'm thinking up and down, what I want you to be thinking? Columns, right? Because up and down is columns. All right, so this is the fun part, okay? The rows of the first matrix are going to multiply by the column of the second matrix. Okay, so you ready? All right, watch this. I'll do it with my fingers. So take your fingers. Everybody have their fingers? All right, you can put your pen or pencil down for now. Take your fingers. Put your left finger, whatever one you're doing for your left hand, on the 4. So your left finger on the 4. There you go, left finger on the 4. And your right hand finger on the 1. Everyone have that? All right, so I'm going to multiply 4 times 1. So I'm going to write that down. I'm going to write down 4 times 1. Okay, everyone write it down?
Yes.
Okay, get your fingers back there. Are they on the 4 and the 1?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, now follow your arrows. My arrow on the first matrix says to move to what number?
-2.
The -2. My arrow on the second matrix says to move to the -2. Do you see those now?
Yes.
Those are going to multiply. So that's -2. I agree. -2 times -2. And I want you to put a big addition symbol in between them. Whatever that is going to be the first number in your answer matrix. So we just multiplied the first row of that first matrix times this column. It's okay. If you've never done that before, you might be like, what? We're going to do it again. But, oh, it will always be addition. Now, it might work out, Gladys. I'm glad you brought that up. It might work out that this one is like a negative or that one ends up being negative, so you might end up subtracting, but always put an addition symbol to put them together. Okay?
I know this is added, but if it was addition,
No, so good question. All right. We actually don't do division with matrices. We actually multiply by the reciprocal. All right. Okay, ready for the next row? Okay, got your fingers? Yeah. Okay, so now I'm going to go to the second row. You see the number 1? Okay, and I'm going to go back to the top of this column. So I'm going to multiply 1 times 1. Now watch where I write that. I'm going to write that in my second spot for my answer. Okay? Take your fingers. Right, I'm at 1 times 1. Where do I move with my first finger? To the right, right, follow the arrow to the 0. And then this 1 moves to the negative 2. What is 0 times negative 2?
0.
It'll just be 0, right? And if you've got that set up right, then you're ready to write the answer. All right, so my first one's going to be, that's a 4. What's negative 2 times negative 2? Positive 4. So what's 4 plus 4? 8. And this one is a little bit simpler because this is just going to be 0. Right? So what's 1 times 1? 1. That's it, guys. You did it. That's multiplying. This is what you're going to type. Don't say 8 over 1 because that makes it seem like it's a fraction. Your matrix answer has an 8 in the first spot and a 1 in the second spot. And today, Samantha, all of your answers will be these 2 by 1 matrices.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, you ready to do another one?
Of course.
Yeah, we can do this. Let's go number 2. Now, I know that it's all going to be the same, but I want to get into the habit of practicing. All right, what are the dimensions of the first one? 2 by 2. What are the dimensions of the second matrix? 2 by 1. Remember to underline the middle numbers of those 4. What do you notice about those middle numbers? They're the same. So is this possible? Yes, it is possible. And just a reminder, the ones that you did not underline are the dimensions of your answer. So your answer is going to be a 2 by 1 matrix. All right. Obviously, you can stop doing that little prep work if you want, because they'll all be the same today. Bless you. I do want to encourage you to always draw the arrows, right? So you're drawing an arrow to show you you're multiplying the rows of the first matrix times the columns of the second matrix, which is just 1 column. Can we try this one without the fingers?
Yeah.
Okay. So most students get well, you still need your fingers to write. Yeah. Most students get the first part, right? What's the first number in my first matrix? 4. What's the 4, right? What's the first number in my second matrix? -5. So most students will get that one right. But they won't move correctly, right? So you need to move across that first row. What's the second number in that first row? Another 4. And I need to move down, right? Following my arrow, move down. What's that second number in that column? Another 4. So whatever that is will be my first part of my answer. Okay, then I switch to the second row. Start over. What's my first number in the second row? So -2 times. Go back to the first number in that column. Plus, follow your arrows. 2 times 4. Okay, Gladys. Okay, I see you. All right. So now it just becomes, if you want to use a calculator, you can, or you can do it mentally. That's -20 plus 16, which is -4. And then this one is +10 plus +8 is 18. Yes?
Yeah.
Okay. No worries.